Hi guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. If you have never been here before, my name is Michael, and today we're going to be talking all about my birth plan. So if you are new around here and you don't know, I'm currently 37 weeks pregnant, which means my child is technically full term. If I were to have her right now, she's no longer premature. She would be good to go. So I wanted to get this video done because everyone thinks that she's gonna come early, and I just want to get this out of the way before she gets here. I am currently sitting on my birthing ball, which we're gonna talk about later. So if you see me kind of moving around or bouncing up and down, I apologize. I hope it's not too distracting. I am also in the nursery. I know you guys can't see it. The nursery tour will be coming out either next week or the following week. I'm not totally sure, I'd have to check. So I wanted to make this video and kind of talk about my birth plan, or what I like to call my birth goals, and why I have set these goals for myself, the reason behind them, all that jazz, as well as answer some of your questions that you guys asked me. I do want to give a disclaimer at the beginning of this video. I'm not a medical professional, so please talk to your doctor before, you take any of my advice or think about doing any of the things that I am doing. My doctor has A-okayed me for everything. Also, I have had a completely unproblematic pregnancy. Baby is perfectly healthy. I am perfectly healthy. So all of these things are okay for that reason. As of currently, there is no signs that my birth would go any other way than, what I'm hoping for, which is unmedicated vaginal. So just wanted to put that out there. Also, before we start, I don't necessarily like the word birth plan because nothing goes as planned, and birth isn't something that you can plan for. So I like to use the term, these are my birth goals. This is what I would love to happen. If they don't, it's perfectly fine. I am prepared, but I have these goals in place and I want to try to stick to them. So, all right, we're just gonna hop into it. I have this folder. If you guys saw last week's video, this is in my hospital bag. It just has some different labor positions and things, as well as my birth plan. So I'm gonna kind of go through and just talk a little bit about what's on here. If you guys want to find a birth plan checklist, I would recommend just Googling birth plan checklist, birth plan PDF, birth plan template, and a bunch of them will come up. I will tell you though, try to keep it to one page front and back, because no nurse or doctor is gonna wanna sit there and flip through pages and pages and read. It's just not gonna happen. So mine is front and back and very simple, very easy to skim over and read. It also has different kind of categories that you can go through. So we're just gonna kind of talk through them. So on here, it has my information as well as my partner and my mom's information, because they are my labor team. So they both are fully prepared to do anything that I need during my labor. And they also know what my goals are and are 100% willing to do what they can to help make those happen and be a voice for me in labor if I need that. I am very thankful for that, and I think it's really, really, really important to have people on your birth team that know what you want and are going to support you and do whatever they can to help make those things happen. So as far as labor goes, I have a feeling that I'm going to want dim lighting and be able to play either music that I want or my hypnobirthing soundtracks, videos, whatever. So I have those on my list. If you didn't know, it's very common for people to go into a dark, quiet place during labor and kind of focus themselves. This is something that animals actually do when they go into labor. They go off by themselves in a dark, quiet space to give birth in a peaceful, calm environment. So I feel like that is something that I'm going to want, but we will see. Time will tell. Hi, I am jumping in in to add really quick that I am planning on laboring at home for as long as I possibly can. They say to go into the hospital when your contractions are 5 minutes apart, lasting 1 minute for 1 hour. I think that's when they say, but I'm just gonna kind of stay at home for as long as I can manage the contractions and feel like I'm doing okay. I think once I get to the point that I can't talk through my contractions anymore is probably when we will go to the hospital. I have talked to my doctor about this already and he said that is totally fine. I also wanted to note that my mom's labor was roughly 10 hours with me and my little brother. So majority of the time you do kind of follow in your mom's footsteps of labor. So I'm guessing that my labor is going to be somewhere around 10 hours long. We'll see. As far as monitoring goes, I put on my birth plan that I would like to be as mobile as possible. I do not want to be stuck to the bed. I know myself and I know that if I am constrained to the bed, I am just not gonna have a good time. I want to be able to walk around. I want to be able to change positions. I want to be able to labor in the bathroom or on the floor if I want to. Being in the bed, laying down just seems like hell to me, like I'm saying. These are all my goals, my preferences, and how I feel. So it's important to me that I have some type of monitoring that can make me still be mobile. So I have that on there. As far as pain relief goes, I am hoping for an unmedicated birth. So I do not want anyone to offer me pain medication unless I explicitly ask for it. That is something that I have in here written down. And the methods that I have checked for like non-medical pain relief options are changing positions, massages, my fitness ball, breathing, the shower and tub, as well as hot and cold compresses. So changing positions during labor can be really, really helpful. There are positions that are kind of known to subdue the pain as well as bring baby down and have gravity really, really help you continue and progress in labor. Massages can be really, really, really helpful, especially if you're having like back labor, having somebody massage your back or your shoulders or like your butt, I've heard is so helpful. Miguel's calling me. What do you want?
I was just calling to see what you did.
I don't remember what I was talking about. Fitness balls in labor. For me personally, I like bouncing on my ball because I feel like it kind of helps soothe some of my pelvic pain, and it also just engages bringing the baby down into the birth canal. Different breathing techniques are really helpful to kind of focus your breath during contractions, not focus so much on the pain. The tub and the shower. So this is something that varies hospital and care provider. My hospital does allow you to use the shower in your labor, which is so wonderful. Water is super duper helpful for a lot of different reasons. When you're in labor, the warm water from a shower kind of pushing on your back is super duper helpful to kind of subdue some of the pain. If you are in the tub, the warm water helps the same way. It will also help to kind of get your skin moisturized and loosen a little bit. It's not gonna be so tight. It'll be much easier to stretch. However, it is known that the warm water does actually slow down labor a little bit. So when the pain gets so unbearable that you really, really, really need that help, then I think that's wonderful. But for me, I'm gonna try to push off getting in the shower as long as I can until the pain is just really, really bad, because I don't wanna slow things down if I don't necessarily need to. And then hot and cold compresses, having a cold compress like on your forehead or your neck, a hot compress on your back, those things can be really helpful to just kind of take your mind off of the pain. As far as pushing goes, oh my goodness, are we so excited. I do not want to have coached pushing. I am planning on letting my body do all of the pushing. If you don't know, your body will push the baby out of you whether you want to or not. Those muscles will contract and push that baby right on out of there. You have really no say over it. And the reason that I do not want coached pushing is because when you are in the hospital and you hit 10 centimeters, then oftentimes doctors are like, okay, let's get this show on the road. You're at a 10, let's push. And then you can end up pushing for 2, 3, 4 hours, exhausting all of your energy because you were at 10 centimeters, but maybe baby just wasn't quite in the right position or wasn't quite ready to come out yet. And then you are so depleted of energy and completely exhausted. And I don't really want that. Once I get to a 10, if I feel like my body is pushing baby out, cool, then I will flow with that and push with that. But if I'm at a 10 and I don't feel like anything is really happening, I don't feel that urge to push, I'm not gonna make my body do that. I don't wanna waste a bunch of energy if I don't feel like I need to. This can also be helpful with tearing. Sometimes when you are pushing and pushing and pushing and your body isn't quite ready yet, you can tear more. There's also on the other side of things, coached pushing can be helpful in, okay, stop pushing, because if you push anymore, you are gonna tear. So there's two sides to that coin, but I'm really not worried about it. I'm gonna let my body push when she's ready to push, you know what I'm saying? Jumping back in to add about pushing, that I have talked to my doctor and I will be able to push in whatever comfortable position, in whatever position I feel comfortable in, as long as things are going good. If you didn't know, laying on your back with your legs up is not the optimal pushing position. Think about taking like a poop in that position. Doesn't seem very fun, very uncomfortable sounding. It kind of closes off your pelvis. Any position like squatting or sitting or being on your hands and knees will open up your pelvis, give baby a little bit more room to get out, and also gravity really helps in those positions bring baby down. So my doctor is all good with that. Okay. I would like a mirror, and I would like to be able to touch baby's head as she crowns, and I would like for my healthcare provider to hand me baby immediately after if there are no complications. I want a mirror. I want to be able to see her coming out. I also am gonna have my mom film it all so I can go back and watch, but I just think like having the mirror in the moment is gonna be so helpful, seeing her coming out, to like mentally really ramp myself up and like keep myself going. I could be completely wrong. I could get that mirror down there and be like, get that out of here. I don't need that visual, but I definitely don't think that that's gonna happen. And then if there are no complications, I would like to do immediate skin to skin, get that good golden hour with baby girl before they take her away and do what they need to do. The next category is birth and baby care. So we're gonna kind of go through this one quick. I would like to do skin to skin. I already talked about that. I would like to do delayed cord clamping and have Miguel cut the cord. Delayed cord clamping just means that you don't clamp and cut as soon as baby comes out. You let all of the blood flow from the placenta into baby before you cut the cord. This is a pretty common practice at most hospitals now. It didn't used to be, but it is much more common now. I would like to exclusively breastfeed, so I do not want baby given bottles or formula. This is kind of just a decision that I made for myself. I want to try to breastfeed for as long as I possibly can. Therefore, I don't really want to give her a bottle or formula in the hospital. I'm cool with pacifiers. Passies are great. I would rather her have a pacifier than suck on her thumb. And those are all of the things that are on my birth plan. So now we're gonna get into things that I am doing to kind of prepare for labor and delivery. Okay, so to prepare for a natural labor, I bought this book that is very common that women read, and it is called Ina May's Guide to Childbirth. This, in the first half, has stories from moms who have had natural deliveries, and it's so beautiful. I have cried reading so many of these stories. Just hearing all of the moms talk about how positive and amazing and beautiful their births were is like, oh, could literally cry just thinking about it. And these are really helpful, I think, as exposure. You hear about what's happening in detail, and you hear how mom and baby are coping with natural labor and their experiences. And I think it's really helpful to kind of have those in your mind so that you can prepare for what is to come. And then the second half just gives you some general information and stuff like that. I haven't finished the second half, but I 100% recommend this book. I will link it down below. It is so good. The next thing that's helpful is a yoga ball. This is my yoga ball. She's wonderful. I got her at Five Below for $5, and this is super helpful. Bouncing on it, doing figure eights. There's a lot of different positions and exercises that you can do with a yoga ball to help engage baby and bring them down and all that jazz. Walking is a wonderful way to prepare your body for labor. It really helps to get baby in the right position and bring them down and really engage into your pelvis. Pam and I just went on about a 45-minute walk today. It was wonderful. I was really feeling that pelvic pain. I felt her in there, you know, for sure towards the end, but it's so helpful. Another thing that I have been doing is drinking red raspberry leaf tea. This is something that people have been doing for generations. This is supposed to really help ripen your cervix and prepare your body for labor, and also help you have a much faster, smoother labor. So I'm actually drinking it right now. There's no caffeine in it, so you can drink cups and cups and cups, and it is supposed to be really helpful. It's not very good. It's not very strong. I have been doing things like practicing breathing techniques as well as listening to hypnobirthing affirmations. This is really helpful for me because I feel like if I am practicing these things now when I go into labor and I really need to use them, they will be very helpful. So I will link some of my favorite hypnobirthing videos down below. I just sit and listen to them and really focus on what they're saying, focus on baby girl and like telling myself that I can do this. I think when you're preparing for a natural birth, something really important is having the right mindset, and that's what hypnobirthing is all about. Just being like, my body can do this. She is where she needs to be. She's doing what she needs to do. She's got this, you know what I'm saying? Thing that I've been doing that I have been slacking at because I just don't enjoy it is eating dates. Eating dates is supposed to really help, just like the red raspberry leaf tea, to ripen your cervix and help you have a smooth, quick labor. I personally hate dates. I think they're so disgusting. They make me want to vomit. So I've just been adding a couple into my smoothies in the mornings, but they are supposed to be really helpful. Another thing is perineal massages. If you don't know what a perineal massage is, I will put some pictures up on the screen. This is something that you can have a partner do, or you can do to yourself. And this is just gonna stretch that vaginal skin and help when you're in labor and when you're pushing to decrease the chances of tearing. Now, let me just tell you, this is not a super fun, sexy thing that you can like do with your partner. No. It is very uncomfortable. It is like, it made me nauseous the first time that I did it because it's just such an uncomfortable sensation and it doesn't feel good. You're literally stretching that skin, trying to prepare it. So it's not some super fun thing, but it is supposed to be very helpful. Another thing that is helpful is evening primrose oil. So I have not started doing this yet. They recommend starting this at 37 to 38 weeks. This is definitely something you need to talk to your care provider about. But basically, taking one of these capsules orally is supposed to help, just like the tea and the dates, to prep your body for labor and ripen up that cervix. You can also take one of these bad boys, poke a hole in each end and insert it vaginally right up against your cervix, and do this before bedtime. And it is just supposed to help soften everything and really prepare your body. So I have not started doing this yet, but very soon we will. Another thing that I have been doing to kind of prep my body for labor, induce labor, is pumping. So this is my pump. It's the Motif Duo. Obviously my milk has not come in yet because baby girl is still inside of me, but nipple stimulation is wonderful at releasing those oxytocin hormones and getting your body like, all right, let's do this thing. So I just put it on the lowest setting or like a medium setting and leave it on for anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes. Like I said, nothing comes out, but it is just supposed to be really helpful in getting things going, getting your body moving, getting ready to do it. You know what I'm saying? You also don't need to pump. You could totally stimulate your nipples in, 100 other ways. That's just the easiest way for me. Another thing that is super helpful at getting baby out, same way you got baby in there, getting jiggy with it. God, why did I just say that? No, sorry. Same thing with the nipple stimulation. Sex helps to release those oxytocin hormones and really get your body like, all right, let's have a baby, let's push things into gear, let's get things going. As well as, like the evening primrose oil, the semen is super helpful in ripening up the cervix. My mommy is calling me. Hello.
Love you.
Love you too. Watching positive births. Oh my gosh, I cannot talk about this enough. I will link some of my favorite positive births down below, as well as this Instagram account. I don't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but I think just like reading positive birth stories, watching positive birth stories is so good. It's that exposure. It's watching other people go through it, preparing your mind. Okay, this is what I'm gonna have to be enduring quite soon. This is how they are handling it and the things that they are doing to push through the pain, and having those things in your mind to think about and prepare for your own labor. I think it is so important. I could sit and watch births all day long, and it's important to watch and read about the birth that you want. So maybe you want a vaginal birth with an epidural. Great. Watch and read about those kinds of births. Maybe you are wanting a C-section. Awesome. Watch and read experiences of mamas who have gone through that. I think it's so important to expose yourself and, really take in stories of births that you are hoping for. I think, to be honest, I think that's it. I'm not totally sure. I feel like maybe I'm forgetting something. I didn't even answer the questions. Oh my God. Okay, I'll be back and answer these questions. Okay, I'm back to answer these questions that you guys asked. There's not many, but there are some. First question is, are you going to have a photographer with you when you have baby? No, sadly, I will not. This is something, if it wasn't Miss Corona times, I would love to have, but because I'm only allowed 2 people in the room with me, it will be my mom and Miguel, and my mom will just take pictures of baby and me in labor. Somebody said, what are you most nervous/scared for? I'm most nervous for something to go wrong. I feel like I'm kind of trying to create this very like Zen vibe and picture in my mind, and I'm just scared that like something crazy is gonna happen or not good is gonna happen with her, and that's terrifying to think about. Somebody said, going natural, how long do you plan to stay home? Like I mentioned before, I'm planning on staying home until I can't talk through my contractions anymore. I feel like I'm just gonna know like, okay, I feel like it's really time to go to the hospital. Like I feel like things are progressing. I could be completely wrong. My mom thinks that I'm gonna go into labor and wanna go to the hospital like right away, but I also don't wanna get sent home. So I'm not planning on doing that. Somebody said, are you going to have them wash her right away? No, depending on how long we're in the hospital, I don't even know if I'm gonna have them give her a bath. I might just wait until we get home and bathe her myself, but I'm not totally sure. That's kind of something that I'm gonna decide when I'm there, but I do wanna delay the bath for as long as I can. Somebody else asked, are you going to give baby the vitamin K vaccine? Yes, I have not read anything negative about it, and though it's not common for babies to suffer from like vitamin K deficiency, it is possible and it is something that can be really bad. So I haven't read any negative things about it, and my pediatrician hasn't said that I shouldn't, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Somebody asked, what are your plans about friends and family seeing the baby? We're kind of planning on coming home and keeping visitors to like a super minimum for the first week. So just like Miguel's parents, my grandparents, and that's kind of it. And then after the first week, once I am more healed, once we are more in a little bit of a routine, then having friends and extended family and whatever come over. Somebody said, how do you think your birth will go? I'm hoping that it goes smoothly. I feel like I'm putting a lot of effort into having a smooth birth, so I'm really just hoping that it goes well and that it's an enjoyable experience. So, okay, the last question is, will you be doing the eye serum? This is something that is actually mandatory in a lot of states. I don't know if it's mandatory in Tennessee, but we will be doing it. Basically, the eye serum just protects against any sexually transmitted diseases that I may have, which my partner and I are both negatively tested for all of those things, never have experienced that, but it is still something that disease could be passed through the birth canal somehow and get to her. Do you guys like my outfit today? Cute. Anyways, that is all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know it was a long one. I know that there was a lot of information and I just talked and rambled my face off, but I hope you enjoyed it. Come back next week. I'm not totally sure. It's either gonna be a vlog or the nursery reveal, so that'll be exciting. I love you guys so much. Please send me labor thoughts and prayers because I need them. Anyways, all right, love you. Bye.